Well, this week we're hitting up some team tactics, so I'm not really sure how they're going to do. So this first tactic is the Hansi Flick tactic, the FC Barcelona tactic from 2025, or at least maybe that's when it was created. I don't know. But as you can see, I know they switch between a 4-2-3 and a 4-2-3-1. This is using the 4-2-3-1 with a 4-3-3, I guess, on the out of possession phase. But the description on it does say 4-2-3-1 gegenpressing. This tactic is ideal for coaches who want to play a very offensive style with fast pace of play. There's a bunch of written up here to take a look at, and definitely go ahead and read it. But it does say it is important to bear in mind that this tactic wears players out. So it is important to have good substitutes on the bench and rotate frequently. Well, that sounds great. That's what I usually do. So let's dive into it in a holiday sim with our three teams of Manchester City and Crystal Palace in the Premier League and our championship side of Derby County. So let's just dive in and see how it went. Well, taking a look at the Premier League table, you can see there's a massive problem. Man City with 48 points, 57 goals, 11th place in the table. Crystal Palace in 16th with 50 and 35. Something really happened there. Now, I'm going to immediately start off the bat by saying, yeah, something definitely happened to Man City. They had a lot of big injuries. Gvardiol was out for about 2 months. Ake Donnarumma out with a fractured lower arm. So they had some big players that were out for quite some time. Well, we're still going to continue with Man City. And yeah, EFL Cup out against Brighton 0-3. They get some Champions League games under their belt, but finally lose out to PSG 6-3 away from home. They did get their 4-3 win at home, but still. And then an FA Cup loss to Sunderland 1-0. So yeah, overall, injuries definitely hampered this season. Premier League definitely did not do well. FA Cup out in the 4th round. Champions League knocked out in the playoff round. And then EFL Cup knocked out also in the 4th round. Ouch. And then players, wow, very few in the green. Not too surprised though. 25 goals for Haaland, 12 for Ryan Cherky. Assists 12 for Foden, Silva with 11. Average rating, well, Erling Haaland gets a 7.24. But switching our sights to Crystal Palace, 16th in the table. Wow. But they lose out to Liverpool in the FA Community Shield 3-0. They lose out immediately in the EFL Cup to West Ham 0-2. And then, yeah, Conference League out against Rayo Vallecano. You got the 1-0 win away from home, but yeah, 4-0 at home really hurts. FA Cup out against Plymouth 0-4. Ouch. So yeah, you got knocked out pretty early in just about everything. Senior squad, they have more green than Man City had, but still not the greatest. 21 goals for Pino, Nketiah with 11, assists 15 for Pino, Sarr with 11, and average rating, Munoz gets a 7.12. Data hub for Manchester City, yeah, performing below an average level. Performing an average level overall, at least they've got a bit of the attacking side, but 18.9 shots per game, 12.6 fouls, but 1.5 goals, 1.69 penalty XG, dribbles 20. So overall, the defensive pieces really let them down. I'm really kind of surprised the attacking side didn't. Crystal Palace, defensively, it says performing below an average level, but it looks pretty similar to Man City. 7 clean sheets, 2 XG against. Performing below an average level, though, attacking-wise and general performance. Only 14 shots, 1.3 goals per game. Yeah, you definitely need to bring that up a bit. Premier League stats, unfortunately, not here at all. So let's just dive in a little bit deeper. Average possession for Man City is 53%. Crystal Palace in 10th with 49 points per game. Now this one hurts. 10th place Man City, 1.26. Crystal Palace in 16th with 0.92. On the attacking side, goals all the way down in 11th for Man City with 57. Crystal Palace with 50. Goals per game, again, all the way down. Man City in 11th with 1.5. You get Crystal Palace with 1.32. As for shots, Man City actually in second with 720. Crystal Palace in 12th with 536. Shots on target, 306 from Man City. In second again, Crystal Palace in 14th with 214. And shots per game, well, Man City again in second with 18.95. Crystal Palace with 14.11. And on the defensive pieces where we know there are some definite woes, Man City in 13th with goals allowed with 64. Crystal Palace with 70. And then shutouts. Well, Crystal Palace actually have 7 to Man City's 5. But now we can hope and pray that Derby County had a much better season, right? Well, no. They are dead last. 57 goals for, 32 points, it did not work for these teams at all. Fixtures wise, yeah, EFL Cup, you got to Wolves, lose 3-0, not too surprising there. FA Cup, you get to Southampton and lose in penalties. So all in all, dead last in the championship. That's the one that kind of hurts the most. And senior players, I'm surprised they have a single player in the green, but what do you kind of expect? 19 goals though for Brewster is still not bad. Wayman with 15, assists 12 for Bobby Clark, Brewster with 7, and average rating that's 706 for Max Johnston. So the data hub kind of looks similar to a lot of, the Premier League sides. Performing better than average, which is nice. 20 dribbles per game, 16.3 shots per game, 10 fouls against per game. You get the 1.2 goals, just needs to be brought up severely. But defensively is the problem yet again. 4 clean sheets, 2 goals are XG against, 2.3 conceded. That's problematic. But let's dive into the tactic itself a little bit deeper. Again, this is a Hansi Flick tactic 4-2-3-1. I'm not sure specifically how close it is to a Hansi Flick tactic. Definitely let me know in the comments below. I haven't studied their 2025 tactics yet, but it is an attacking mentality, gegenpress style. On the goalkeeper side, we have a ball-playing goalkeeper on the in-possession side. Out of possession, there are the instructions, but it does switch to a sweeper keeper. We have a playmaking wingback on the in-possession. They do have a couple of changes there. Out of possession of those instructions. That does change to a holding fullback. A advanced center back on the in-possession. A bunch of changes there. Out of possession instructions. But that changes to a regular center back. Out of possession. A no-nonsense center back next to them on the in-possession. There's the instructions. Out of possession instructions. That also changes to a center back. I hate the screen, but changes to a center back, and then a fullback on the right side with a bunch of changes. Out of possession instructions. Again, don't look at this. We will look at this halfback, a holding fullback. Sorry, on the right side in out of possession. A deep lying playmaker on the in possession. Out of possession instructions that changes up to a central midfielder. Interestingly enough, a DM on the right in possession and out of possession instructions. I'm going to assume that goes to, a screening central midfielder. And then we have a free role in the attacking midfield section that does change to a pressing central midfielder on the out of possession phase. And instruction-wise, there's the in possession, there's the out of possession. And then on the left, we have a wide forward in possession and out of possession instructions. That changes to a tracking winger. On the right side, we have an inside winger in possession and out of possession instructions. That changes to an inside outlet winger. And then we have a deep lying forward up front in possession and out of possession instructions. And that changes to a tracking center forward on the out of possession phase. If we take a look at the team instructions, all instructions, there is the in possession instructions and there are your out of possession instructions. So all in all, how did these three teams do? Definitely not good at all. To be honest, this was kind of a toss-up. When you throw in a Barcelona tactic or another team's tactic into a team that's not ready for it, you're going to have a lot of problems. And the creator of this tactic did say it is important to bear in mind that the tactic wears players out. So a team like Derby County, a team like Crystal Palace may not have the manpower to actually fill in that bench really well. So Man City, I think, just had some serious injury woes. And if you had a full squad for the full season, you'd do fairly well, I would imagine. But again, this is not made for any of these teams. This just kind of shows you what maybe some of the data will show on your season if you play with a Barcelona or someone else. But that's it from me, Sevian FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.